Hello, friends. My name is Richard Bruxvoort Colligan. That's a big, long, weird name, so Richard is fine. I'm coming to you from a little town in Iowa on the northeast corner called Strawberry Point, where I live with my wife and son and Winifred the dog. I am part of a church right now. I'm on staff in Rochester, Minnesota, at a great little kind of experimental church in the ELCA Lutheran Church called Olive Branch Community. I'm a spiritual director, songwriter, liturgist, and happy to be with y'all. Okay, are you ready? My word is crumble. Crumble. What a strange word. That's what I was first thinking of. I generally do Christine's Give Me a Word each Advent time. So I'm sort of used to a process that, um, remains kind of consistent, sort of be still and see what happens. And then over several days, usually like taking a walk or just paying attention to news, music, what I'm reading, conversation, and to see if it pops up and see if it stays. I even sort of test that word a little bit, saying, is this something really that I can sit with for a whole year? Or is this some little spontaneous thing? Crumble, I think, came to me first because I was worried about politics in my home country, the United States of America. I was worried that our sense of society was crumbling, that is, deteriorating, falling apart. And that felt like kind of a downer of a word to stick with for a year. But as I thought about it more, there's these three aspects of crumble that came to me. One is, what if it's a good thing that something is crumbling? What if injustice is crumbling? What if the long moral arc of the universe is evolving so that things are better? And what if some big fortresses of power that's abused is coming down little by little? Crumbling takes patience when you want something to be dismantled. Crumbling is not necessarily satisfying when you feel like you're out of patience. This has got to stop. So first crumble was, I guess, a sense of, wow, well, this will teach me patience if I sort of frame this in my mind. The second thing was more personal. Is there anything in me that is ready to deteriorate? Is there any armor that I really don't need to protect myself that's ready to come down? Are there habits, addictions, patterns in my life that really I'm done with if I allowed them to deteriorate, to just particleize and disperse however they're going to be? Again, a hopeful thing, even though it's a word that I associate mostly with something that's being destroyed little by little. And then the third is, because I love dessert, crumble like on top of a pie, sort of brown sugar and cinnamon on my mom's bundt cake when I was little. Just that maybe there's a sweetness or some flavor to that crumbling that might be lovely if I'm open to it. Crumble. At this point in my life, I have a fascination with change. I feel like it's something people hate and resist and dislike and is uncomfortable. Change. And at the same time, humans tend to be desperate for change. When it's time, we need things to change right now. This relationship better change, or this thing going on in the world, I want it to stop. So with that fascination for change, the idea of something crumbling is a kind of change that I don't think about. I guess when I think of change, I think of slopes or a curve or something on a graph. I don't know. A crumble is more like something that's a little more random, particleized, maybe like a sandcastle. I'm not sure. Your good question is is having me, imagine what is the visual that I have when I'm thinking about that. So I invite you all into that idea of what is changing in your life, in my life, in the world, in the things most important and the tiny things. What could be wonderful about something crumbling, or what resistance do we have to crumble? I love talking with creative people, and we're all creative in our own way, about what word comes up, um, to think of ourselves as artists of life and to trust a word, even if it's a little odd. Most of the people I talk to that do give me a word or some sort of spiritual practice with the word, I hear them say, grace or peace or something that sort of makes sense. Almost always, I have a word that's just a little off kilter, and maybe, well, I'm not sure exactly why, but it's something that I chew on. Then is one year I had the word salmon, about being slippery in my life, or what's it mean to return to my headwaters. And another time it was dog. Another time it was transit. Um, so I'm happy with crumble, and whatever word has come to you who's listening here. Maybe there's more to it than we think at first glance. I'm a writer of congregational songs. There's one website that's all about the Psalms. I have a fascination with the Psalms. And so that website is psalmimmersion.com. I also have a catalog of non-Psalm songs for congregations to sing, and that is worldmaking.net. Those are the places you can connect with me best, probably.